I think it is clear to believe in the power of ideas.
Fresh thinking to the Manhattan Institute.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you all today. I think it's important as we consider federal health reform and state health reform to keep in mind the individual or direct pay market. Sometimes conversations about the direct pay market get lost in the greater conversation, and that's why it was a real pleasure to work on this paper and look at what reforms we can make to the direct pay market and what kind of impacts will they have. All right, Tim. Oh, there we go. First of all, I think it's very important to set the record straight on why this market is so important. If you think about it, it really is the private sector safety net for people looking to buy private health insurance outside of their employer. It's the only place for individuals to voluntarily buy unsubsidized private insurance if it is not available through their employer. The second thing is, when you look at the vast majority of the uninsured are uninsured for a limited period of time, most for less than 2 years. And in most states, the individual market functions as that temporary insurance market. Most states also have temporary health insurance allowing you to buy a plan for up to a year, a limited time benefit. But the individual market, for the vast majority of people in it, serves as a short-term market. People buy into the market, and then they have coverage for a couple of years. I think this is very important as well, because for many of us who get insurance through our employer, when we look at those individuals who are buying in the individual market, and Steve will talk more about this, we need to recognize that they're a very different group and are much, much, much more price sensitive than folks who are in the employer market. As I mentioned, the direct pay consumer is highly price sensitive and needs choice. This is some examples from the Healthy New York program looking at the variation in premiums for the standard Healthy New York with RX coverage all the way down to the purple on the far right, the Healthy New York HSA eligible plan without RX. And you can see what kind of premium variations are available. And when you look at the results of the Healthy New York market, you can see that price matters. In fact, small differences in premium affect significant portions of market share. For a 15% discount, 1 out of 5 Healthy New York subscribers goes with a plan without prescription drug coverage. That's how price sensitive that population is. These individuals, again, receive significant subsidies from the state, but that's how price sensitive they are. A couple of years ago, they introduced a health savings account eligible plan. That plan has about a 22% premium discount, and we've seen significant growth in that portion of the market, going from 600 enrollees to now over 6,000 individuals choosing that, about 4% of the Healthy New York market. So these show little differences in premium compared to some of the modeling that Steve will talk about, it yielding significant portions of the market buying coverage. When you look at New York's current direct pay market, I think by any measure, and anyone would say, it's a complete mess. It's unaffordable by any measure. New York has regulated its direct pay market in a way to guarantee access to individuals regardless of health status. But what we need to think about is access is price sensitive. And therefore, these regulations have real costs. I only have access if I have money. For an individual in the city, you're looking at individual premiums beginning at $750 a month. For a family of 4, $2,200 a month. Now, one of the bills, the Baucus bill being considered today in Congress in the Senate Finance Committee, sets an affordability standard of about 13% of family income, saying a health plan is unaffordable if you're paying more than 13% of your family income on premiums. Well, how much would you have to earn for it to be affordable to buy in the individual market? An individual, over $70,000 a year. A family of 4, over $200,000 a year. So even though we think of the regulations in that market as guaranteeing access to all individuals, because of the high cost of premiums, we're really guaranteeing access only to the extremely sick or to the extremely wealthy. Before we look at the modeling that Steve ran on New York's individual market, I want to talk briefly about the experience next door in New Jersey. New Jersey is a state that had similar regulations to New York. They had an individual market that before regulations had 157,000 people in this market. By 2002, the bar on the left, you can see that it was down to about half that. Just under 80,000 people. New Jersey authorized what they called basic and essential plans. These are limited benefit plans, and they allowed premiums to vary up to 1-to-3 ratio. So the highest cost person in the plan could be charged a premium 3 times more than the lowest cost person in the plan. These basic and essential plans had limits on hospital benefits, no more than 90 days, and also other caps on benefits. And then